Breaking news. Raider Nation, hold on tight, because the story coming out of Las Vegas tonight could flip the entire NFL upside down. A shocking development is brewing, and the whispers around the league have turned into a storm of speculation. Could the Raiders be on the verge of a move so bold that it changes everything we thought we knew about their season? Stay locked in, this one's going to shake the football world. This is getting intense, Raider Nation. Just when fans thought the team was finally settling into its rhythm, a blockbuster trade idea has surfaced, one that involves a frustrated All-Pro wide receiver, one of the league's most recognizable stars. But that's not the only headline. Behind the scenes, the front office is already studying future draft strategies, with a laser focus on strengthening key positions for 2026. The message is clear: the Raiders aren't just thinking about today, they're building something far bigger. And speaking of today, just look at the defense. After putting on a physical performance against the Patriots, they're now preparing for Monday Night Football against the Chargers, one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. The stakes couldn't be higher. But before we dive deeper into this breaking story, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget to turn on the bell icon, so you never miss the latest Raiders updates and NFL breaking news. Now, let's move on to the latest headline that has everyone buzzing. The Raiders entered this season with huge expectations, knowing they needed more firepower to truly compete with the AFC heavyweights. At first, it looked like they had their answer, until a shocking twist. After briefly joining the roster, Amari Cooper suddenly retired, leaving the team scrambling for answers. That left Jakobi Meyers stepping up as the #1 receiver. He's been a reliable target, showing flashes of brilliance in Week 1. But here's the twist: his future in Las Vegas is uncertain. Reports suggest Meyers is frustrated, seeking either a new deal or possibly a trade. And that brings us back to the burning question: could the Raiders be preparing for a game-changing move that no one saw coming? The spotlight now shifts to Philadelphia, where an All-Pro wide receiver could be reaching his breaking point. A.J. Brown, one of the most explosive playmakers in the entire league, has shown visible frustration with how little he's being used in the Eagles' offense. Think about this: in Week 1, Brown was targeted only once, finishing with a single catch. For a receiver of his caliber, that's more than just unusual, it's unacceptable. And this isn't a brand new problem. Last season already carried whispers of his dissatisfaction, as he finished with fewer targets than a player of his talent should demand. For the Eagles, it's a delicate situation. On one hand, they know Brown is an elite weapon, capable of tilting a game in their favor at any moment. On the other, a star of his stature won't sit quietly if he feels overlooked. If this trend continues, it's not hard to imagine Brown pushing for a way out. And this is where things get fascinating. Enter the Raiders. Las Vegas has both the need and the resources to make a bold move. A potential package involving Jakobi Meyers, who has already expressed frustration with his contract situation, along with a valuable second-round pick in the 2026 draft, could be the perfect deal. For the Raiders, it would mean adding a proven superstar to immediately elevate their offense. For the Eagles, it opens the door to clear cap space while bringing in a reliable, cheaper option in Meyers, especially with Devonta Smith proving he can take over as the top target in Philadelphia. It's the kind of trade scenario that would send shockwaves through the NFL, and Raider Nation knows exactly how game-changing it could be. With Devonta Smith emerging as a reliable #1 option in Philadelphia, the idea of moving on from A.J. Brown isn't as far-fetched as it once seemed. And that's where the million-dollar question comes in: will the Raiders dare to make this bold move? If such a trade were to happen, Las Vegas would immediately gain the offensive upgrade they've been searching for. A.J. Brown isn't just another receiver, he's a dominant force, a nightmare for defenses, and the kind of weapon who can tilt the balance of an entire division. Analysts believe this could be the very move that vaults the Raiders into the conversation with the AFC's elite. But pulling off a deal like this is never simple. The Eagles know exactly how valuable Brown is, and giving him up won't come without a fight. Add in the delicate relationship between the two franchises, and the negotiations could get messy fast. Still, timing is everything. If Brown's frustration grows, Las Vegas might be the first team to strike with an offer too tempting to refuse. Yet, while the A.J. Brown buzz dominates headlines, the Raiders' front office is thinking beyond just one blockbuster move. They understand the roster needs long-term balance. The defense is already flashing signs of strength, proving it can set the tone in key matchups. But questions remain. Depth at certain positions is still thin, and the margin for error in a grueling AFC season is razor-sharp. The encouraging part? Recent drafts have been kind to the Raiders. Back-to-back first-round picks have brought new energy, none bigger than Brock Bowers, who burst onto the scene with a rookie year that will be remembered for years to come. Beyond the headlines and rumors, the Raiders are also shaping their future through the draft. Young talent like Ashton Gentry has already emerged as one of the season's biggest surprises, proving that fresh faces can spark real momentum. But make no mistake, there's still plenty of work to do. Wide receiver, cornerback, and offensive tackle remain critical areas where upgrades are needed. One name rising on the radar is Jordan Tyson, the dynamic wideout from Arizona State. With his size, burst of speed, and knack for separating from defenders, Tyson looks like the kind of playmaker who could give Las Vegas a long-term solution on the outside. His ability to win contested catches makes him a dangerous weapon, the type of player who could quickly become a fan favorite. The secondary is another area demanding attention, and that's where Avon Terrell, brother of Pro Bowler A.J. Terrell, enters the conversation. He brings toughness, versatility, and the potential to help lock down some of the AFC's most dangerous receivers. On the offensive line, Clemson's Tristan Lee is another intriguing option, a tackle who could provide the stability and protection every quarterback needs. But while the draft can answer tomorrow's questions, today's challenge is already here. The Raiders' defense must prove it can consistently stop division rivals. After a commanding win against the Patriots, confidence in this unit is growing. They've shown flashes of becoming a real backbone for the team, and as the Chargers matchup looms, that defensive strength will be tested like never before. When it comes to the Raiders' defense, everything begins up front. Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, and the rest of the defensive line have made a habit of living in the opponent's backfield. Their relentless pressure and ability to adapt on the fly have become one of Las Vegas' biggest weapons, and against the Chargers, that edge will be absolutely critical. Defensive coordinator Patrick Graham has crafted a system built on flexibility. The Raiders' front can shift, disguise alignments, and attack from different angles, forcing opposing offenses into constant guesswork. Against a quarterback like Justin Herbert, who thrives on rhythm and timing, this kind of unpredictability could be the difference between stopping drives and giving up big plays. Crosby, in particular, continues to shine as one of the most feared edge rushers in football. His rare blend of speed, strength, and relentless motor makes him a nightmare for offensive tackles. When he finds a crease, he doesn't just pressure the quarterback, he changes the entire momentum of a game. The Chargers know Herbert can pick apart defenses if given time, but the Raiders' front line has the tools to take that comfort away. Length, quickness, and constant movement have become the identity of this unit, and those qualities will be tested to the max on Monday night. In a matchup this important, the battle in the trenches might very well decide the outcome. For the Raiders, it all comes down to execution. Smart, disciplined play from the defensive front will be the key to forcing Justin Herbert into mistakes, disrupting his timing, and cutting off those pinpoint connections he's known for. The beauty of this defense isn't just raw talent, it's how that talent has been shaped into a flexible, unpredictable scheme. Patrick Graham's unit has already shown it can adjust pressure, disguise looks, and attack at just the right moment. Against one of the NFL's most explosive offenses, that adaptability could be the deciding factor. If the line brings consistent heat while capitalizing on its length and quickness, Las Vegas has a real chance to tilt this game in their favor. This matchup isn't just another date on the calendar, it's a stage for the Raiders to prove their identity. The defense has already demonstrated flashes of dominance. Now it's about sustaining that level against a divisional rival with championship-level firepower. When you look at the bigger picture, the Raiders are building on multiple fronts. They're exploring bold trade possibilities like A.J. Brown, reinforcing their defensive philosophy, and evaluating draft prospects who could shape the team's long-term future.